Hi, this is Doug Moench, and you're listening to Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast.
Yes, welcome back, loony listeners. You are listening to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. Returning in your podcast catches are your High Priest of KHONSHU, Rebecca and Ray. Rebecca, how you going?
I'm good. Pajamas today. Sorry, everyone. It's that kind
Pajama
of day.
It's pajama day for both of us.
Pajama day.
Which is a timely reminder. We do have a video version, which there should be a link in the show notes for you. So if you want to check it out, I recommend you do, because Rebecca and I will be going through a comic book, and we do post up some of the panels and all that in our discussion. Yeah.
Makes it easy.
But if you're listening to this,
along.
Exactly. But if you're listening to this in a podcast format, hopefully we can describe everything adequately. But welcome. It's been it's been a journey, Rebecca.
It's always a journey. It's one of those things. As we get older and we have more commitments in terms of families.
Yes.
Fighting cats.
Fighting cats as well, and obviously work.
Yes, work. That was my work was a big put a big spanner in the work. Or me returning to full-time work, I should say. It's a little bit harder to do. So, but we do our best.
We do our best, and I'm proud to say, Rebecca, I mean, we've got our little plan bubbling away, and things that the wheels are still on the tracks. So hopefully, touch wood, everything is going tickety boo. But Rebecca and I are returning for something a little bit different. One of our older kind of segments.
It was a Ruby tale.
There was a Ruby onslaught earlier on. For those of you listening, one of Rebecca's, one of the high priests, new high priest, Ruby, has made.
Little face was poking there. Yeah, she started showing up. So
yes, yeah, which is good. More faces, the better. I mean, KHONSHU carries favor from everyone, so that's good.
Yeah. She's definitely a traveler in the night.
Yes. But we're going back to our LUNAR-PICK days. So we're doing a classic run. We used to do like LUNAR-PICK modern runs or classic runs, depending on the moon, the phase of the moon. This time round, why not? It's a classic. And so we're going to return, Rebecca, to the Doug Moench era, all the way back to volume 1, and just continuing where we left off. So issue 23. This should be interesting. It's Morphues built in.
It's quite a one to jump back into.
A bit of exactly. A bit of an eye opener, I think. Because it's been a while since I've jumped back into Duck, and I'm sure you've been the same as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that I didn't remember it. I was just like, I've not read this for a very long time.
Yeah. I got it mixed up. I mean, with the cover, and we'll show you when we get to it. The cover, when I sent it over to you, Rebecca, I thought it was actually the Black Spectre one, but I got that mixed up. They're kind of similar, where you have Black Spectre with a black and white cover and Moon Knight on the front. But yeah,
I could not remember, because I don't know if I was doing the older run with you. I think I did some of the still an old run, but not this run. So I was just like, wow, it really is a long time since I've read this comic. So maybe I should have read all of them. But it was cool. It was nice it's always nice to go back and read an old because these are the ones that really got many of us interested, who are, I assume, listening to the podcast. Obviously delighted that other people have jumped on since, and and then gone back to them. But you read them again, and they remain something quite special.
And it's a timely reminder as well, Rebecca, I guess how far Jed has taken the character,
I was
because
thinking that,
yeah,
it's different writing style and everything like that, but it's not. It doesn't feel like a different character. It's just an evolution.
and yeah, definitely. I mean, in this issue, we do have I guess the classic support network in the likes of
Yeah, and
Frenzy and
that's
Moench.
kind of interesting, isn't it, to go back to that and
Yeah,
and see what we feel about that and et cetera, et cetera. I mean,
yeah,
obviously we love the old network, but
yeah. No, exactly. And look, I mean, we should be jumping into it right about now. I just have to say, with our white noise news, I guess because Rebecca, since this episode is hoping to be kind of like an evergreen episode, we're trying to not make it time
Mhm.
stamped.
Yeah.
So yeah, news it will be announced as it comes. Nothing much now, nothing really significant.
The only thing was,
So
the only news I've had was that the Midnight Mission is in Marvel Rivals. That's it.
oh, yeah, you sent that
Yeah,
thing on Discord. That's right.
that's
That
all I
looks really.
know. Yeah,
You know what I did straight after that? I went on Discord. You probably saw it, didn't it?
I did. Yeah, and I'm really happy
Yeah,
you did.
and I think Russell. I shared out to Russell. He answered the
Oh,
call.
nice. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, he
Nice.
said you'd be up for that. So yeah, hopefully Loonies in a future episode. I'm looking to review. It would probably most likely be during March. We'll be reviewing Rivals. Marvel.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
be
Marvel
really
Rivals.
interested to listen. I'll be listening. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm going to try and I don't know. I don't know where to start, but I'm going to try and play it as well. So we'll see how we go.
I've done a couple of rounds, but I was terrible at it. So
Is it is it nice? Like, is it smooth
yeah,
and
it's really
yeah?
slick. It's really slick,
Okay.
and it's the kind of thing that I know I'd probably get okay at.
Mm.
But I just haven't. I've been playing something else. I'm not gonna say what, but I've been
Yeah.
playing other stuff, so I've not really had the time for it. And it's not really my kind of game,
hmm
so
And I mean, a small question: Can you play solo, Rebecca, or do you know? Or
yeah,
is it
it
okay?
auto chucks you in a group if you go. Yeah, you just
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. Well, look out for it, Loonies. Actually, having said that as well, I've got to take it offline, Rebecca, but I'm just going to throw a little bit of a tease here. Got contacted by someone as well. So whilst you're away as well, Rebecca, it looks like the slots are filling in.
I know. I'm excited. Well done.
Yeah, should be good. But anyway, let's get to it, shall we? Let's have a look at this issue, and I don't have a little transition for older comics, so straight into it. Yeah, so as I mentioned, Moon Knight issue 23. Nice kind of simple cover there.
It's really,
from
it's like it's the kind of
Sienkiewicz.
thing we'd get as a special cover now.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost like because it's amazing because so many of the older covers, like the specials, the annuals, the big anniversary ones, they'll always try and do this style to like remind us, and it's kind of funny to go back to the actual style. It's like, oh yeah, that's why
Yeah.
that's
And
why
it's just
we're always doing this. Yeah,
it's great, and it's just even more so inside. Like we'll see, but I love. I mean, just the medium. I guess out of the style that Bill Sienkiewicz does. I mean, we can't laud him
it's
enough,
just
obviously.
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
he is Moon Knight, really.
yeah, no, he is.
Yeah.
It's really great. So let me just jump ahead. So again, people with the video, you'll probably see. So this issue is called Perchance, and I'll just get a
Bit of a Shakespeare nod there.
yes. Let me just whenever it goes to double pages. Oh, there we go. So writer Doug Moench, of course, Bill Sienkiewicz, penciler and inker. We have Joe Rosen, letterer. Christie Scheele, colorist, and Denny O'Neil, editor, with Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief. So, Rebecca, in I guess in a nutshell, this issue, it is. Do you want to have a go?
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay.
It is. So it's all about Marlene's brother. Is it Peter?
Peter, yes.
And he is being taken over by Nightmare. I'm just Morpheus, not
Morpheus,
Nightmare.
yes.
Yeah, I knew I was going to get that one wrong. By Morpheus, and he is trying to attack Moon Knight, and then you have a bit of plotting to see how they can get around this. Morpheus doing his thing, and all a big conflagration at the end outside the grounds of Grant Manor.
Yeah, pretty much. I think also as well, we do get to see. I mean, Morpheus showcases a little bit more of his power, Rebecca. It's not as straightforward as what we've previously seen, which seemed to be just like Ebon energy, just shooting from his. So the the less sleep he gets, the more power he generates.
Yeah, I mean, I should have that power.
Would both be super
I'd be
powerful.
unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Immortal.
Yeah.
But what we see here is that he has like this long distance mind control or influence on Peter. He can. It's almost like a Freddy Krueger thing as well. He can see you in your dreams.
Freddy Krueger style. I mean, I've never watched the Freddy Krueger film, so I will trust you on that.
Yeah, and so I found it. I mean, overall, I found it really enjoyable in the fact that it got to flesh out Morpheus a little bit more. He's one of my favorite kind of classic hero.
I mean, he
heroes.
It is classic, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. What I do want to say in the outset, though, Rebecca, and before I ask you your overall impressions for this, to me, with obviously the time that was written and Doug Moench, and also the length of comic book, this was 28 pages, so you get a good 6 pages more than what the modern comics offer.
Yeah,
and the stories do feel longer. I mean, I think not only with the 6 extra pages, but Doug Moench does fill those panels. It's quite a different read.
Yeah. I mean, and just the art style's different. The paneling's different. It's just all the stuff that the coloring's obviously different because you're working in very different newsprint kind. I mean, like different kind of paper, and it's a whole different experience. And even like starting it off with a Bertrand Russell quote, and then referencing Shakespeare throughout. Hamlet, I guess. Let's be specific. Is you still get the references to Shakespeare. I don't think you. I mean, I guess Tom King probably does like British philosophers. But it never feels quite as organic, like as it does here, and that just kind of that almost poetic style Moench has with with a lot of the Moon Knight stuff and the kind of the whole tragedy of the situation and etc. etc.
Yeah, and so what did you make of I mean, the story was it was pretty involved, I thought, as well, for something that is
really involved.
Yeah, for something that's I mean, on paper is a pretty simple premise, right? I mean, I think Morpheus is trying to find Peter, just wants to kill him, but we have Moon Knight obviously trying to help, and the gang trying to help. Obviously, Marlene, her her brother. They've obviously got the vested interest in it. But along the way, we see Morpheus' influence and what he can do, and as you said, culminating in Grant Mansion as well. I mean, what did you make of, I guess, how the characterizations and how the story flowed?
I liked it. It was quite hard to just jump into, and but that's obviously this is part of a longer story. So once I'd kind of got the setup, and you can, I mean, this is again how we read comics. Then you just picked up wherever the issue was and tried to understand what was going on. I thought it gave us enough context. There was what it made me think is how much more, like, kind of tying on to what we said about annuals a while back, how much more story you seem to get in an issue. Because like you said, it's very convoluted, but you think of the number of twists and turns we get. So we get like Peter going after Moon Knight. You get like Marlene getting taken over by Morpheus. You get like what happens at the play out at the end. Like, but you even get to have these lovely asides where Marlene's talking to Stephen, and they're saying that they
Yeah.
don't want Peter to know he's Moon Knight, so she has to call him Moon Knight. I mean, there's a lovely touch at the beginning as well with Moon Knight driving the car.
yeah,
Doing his
yeah.
cab driving, but not cab driving. It's just there's so much story to it, and there's, I mean, obviously they were longer issues.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how packed it is.
Yeah, I think it's really. I mean, yeah, it is a sign of the times as well. But like, there are so, as you say, there's so many ideas and like micro little
Mhm.
scenes within the scene, but it all flows into this tapestry, right? I mean, they're all kind of heading towards the end goal, right? Where Morpheus meets up with Moon Knight. But yeah, here's a beautiful, I think, panel of Marlene just going a little bit crazy.
Yeah,
She's,
yeah.
and she tries to light, I think it's the oil in the generator. So what they do is that they found a generator wherever it is that they're going, and they remembered that last time they tussled with Morpheus, I think it was in the zoo with there was a panther involved, but they got
Nice.
Morpheus. Yeah, they got more. They got a Black Panther, I think, almost, but
Wow.
they got Morpheus backed up against the generator, and they kind of zapped him with that.
Oh,
So
they do kind of reference it, don't they? I
yeah,
think they
yeah.
reference
So
him being zapped.
yes, I like the continuity there because that obviously that
Mhm.
wasn't like the prior issue. That was a few issues back. So unless you're
Right.
invested in this series, you wouldn't know. But I totally agree with you as well, Rebecca. I thought at the very beginning, at least, it was very much a okay. We're right in the thick of this.
Yeah, yeah.
And as you say, you used to do that. I feel today there is like an aversion to even dip your toe in that kind of water. You know what I mean? Like if you don't know
Yeah.
what's happening in the middle, you tend to like go, okay, well, I'm not going to read this. I'm
I
not,
think
you know,
also, like, yeah, it's just everyone wants to, and I think from the companies as well, because the comics are so much more expensive, they want
yeah,
everyone to feel like they can jump in at any point.
yeah, yeah,
And it
yeah,
doesn't
definitely
always
is.
quite work that way.
No, but yeah, it's definitely, I guess, an editorial or marketing thing because you want people to come in, but you don't want them to, you don't want to scare them off by
Yeah, yeah.
making them feel overwhelmed. But having said that, yeah, this is what happened here. But it wasn't too long before you kind of understood what was kind of going on. Awesome paneling here, like you don't often
I
see, or maybe you
love
do.
that panel. That's
Yeah,
so, I mean, that page is so good. Just how it
yeah,
splits things up.
and
It's
it's
just
like
really good.
it's just like perspective as well. So there's a panel
Mm.
here, a page here that we're looking at, podcast listeners, and it's a moment that Marlene throws a match onto the generator with the oil and stuff, and it ignites and it literally explodes. Moon Knight grabs Marlene and Frenchie and leaps away. But
Yeah.
Rebecca here, I love the perspective because not only is it like a jagged kind of paneling, but it's literally as if they're jumping out towards you,
It's
and
just so good.
and the panels kind of evoke like almost that 3D kind of aspect. So really good. And even look, a little touch here at the bottom, Sienkiewicz. It's a very stylized, just a couple of eyes of Marlene and her hair, and that's all you need.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's with the yellow, red, and orange. It just evokes a lot. And then we bounce back into his very realistic style, which is great. So yeah, there's plenty. There's plenty here. I thought let me just recall the fight with Morpheus and Moon Knight. How Moon Knight thought a bed mattress would stop
I love
Morpheus.
it. I mean, I thought that was
Yeah,
particularly funny.
yeah, yeah. He does zap him. I mean, fair enough. Morpheus's ebon energy could literally, I guess, cut Moon Knight in half. So he's doing well. Like, considering again also as well for newer fans to Moon Knight, this isn't the Moon Knight of Jed McKay, or it isn't the Moon
No.
Knight of on the TV, the TV show. In the volume one series of Moon Knight is very much like literal street level
Yeah.
character, right? He's a guy in a costume, and he's good at fighting, and he somehow finds himself against these overpowered villains, but he survives, and nothing to do with no KHONSHU as well, Rebecca. I don't think
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, he does mention KHONSHU.
He does, yeah, but not yeah.
But more like, I wonder what KHONSHU would make of this kind of.
Yeah, not the what was it, like the underworld with all the past Fist of KHONSHUs and
Yeah, we don't have any of that. That doesn't exist in our world.
Yeah,
and at the same time, it's a little bit more, not quite as modern about the altars and stuff, as we all know.
yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, it's not. Yeah, again, it's not really dwelt on in this.
No, I mean it's really KHONSHU is ambiguous as well. We all know in Volume 1, nothing is really certain here other than he's kind of really like this street level guy that just has weapons and fights crime. And it's more, I think it's more about his relationship and his support cast as well than just him, like a Spider-Man comic, where they're all quite flashy. Oh, that's right. There's this whole Rebecca. This whole kind of
the whole dream sequences.
Yeah,
that's mad.
That was
But it's
crazy.
great, isn't that with Black Horse, Black Knight?
Yeah, Black
With Moon Knight and Black. I'm losing the will. Black Knight and Moon Knight, but Black Knight is like green. It's amazing.
It's crazy, and again, so listeners, apologies again. Go check out the video to see these panels.
Yeah, I mean, look it up. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. How can we not talk about Sienkiewicz's art? But there's a sequence here. It's really cool because what happens? Peter O'Roan somehow is really connected to Morpheus, right? And so when Moon Knight touches him, and he's under the spell of Morpheus already, he gets kind of infected with that ebon energy, and he descends into kind of this dream sequence. But the page I'm looking at now with Peter, it goes into negative, Rebecca, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And then you have Moon Knight. He gets pushed from behind, but I think Peter. So Peter was in front of him, and so it's a bit whacked out.
It's all a bit weird and dreamlike, and adds to that whole Moon Knight wackiness. And they're kind of jousting under sea, which is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. So yeah, so you get the full hero page of Black Knight, a great Black Horse there as well, Moon Knight, and Sienkiewicz always does like I call them like irregular perspectives, I find. And he does that with Moon Knight. You don't associate that sort of pose as a heroic pose. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a not here nor there. It's just like him floating through, but he does it so well with perspective.
He does it great.
Yeah. It's funny. Moon Knight from time to time has always kind of fallen underwater, hasn't he? There was the Scarlet Redemption with JMD Mateus. Moon Knight had a dream sequence there as well. So yeah, there's a bit of a running theme there. But yeah, so again, what has happened here is that Morpheus is trying to draw Moon Knight into the dream while he's literally underwater. So basically trying to kind of drown him. But Moon Knight thankfully comes to and makes it to the surface in time.
Thankfully.
Yeah, and then towards the end here, Rebecca, it's pretty funny. I thought it reminded me of a lot of like, I don't know, 80s TV shows where what Moon Knight comes up with is, let's just get a mirror and just perch it behind some bushes, and that will trick Morpheus. He'll think that Frenchie, Marlene, and Moon Knight are hunched in the bushes when they're actually somewhere else. I'm assuming a few meters away. Yeah. So between, I mean, look, Morpheus is even taking shots point blank from Marlene. He seems to be okay. And as they fight, there's actually, I'm sorry, we're just kind of looking through here. There's a nice extended fight, like in the snow. There's actually up there, Rebecca, on the top, it's just purely black and white, which is I thought it was great actually.
Yeah, I liked when they switched to that.
Because I don't know, it almost looked like it almost took me out of it. Going, hang on, like that is so weird, but the effect was, I don't know, the effect was really good because they're being chased by Morpheus.
Yeah, no,
So anyway,
it was very cool.
yeah. So the big thing also here as well, Rebecca, is that Peter was shot by his own sister, Marlene, and a little bit tragic. I don't know. What did you think of this?
Yeah,
Did you
no,
see this
definitely
coming?
tragic. I mean, it's also mirrors how many times Mark's had to kill his brother. Sorry,
Oh
I
yeah,
had to. I mean,
that's true. That's
I'm a
true.
dreadful person, but I just had to say it. Yeah, it was really sad. I mean, something I actually didn't remember happening. So, so that was cool.
I can't even remember if he actually comes back. I think it is a little bit more poignant because he's like just a normal person. He's not a villain or a superhero or anything like that. He was just a doctor.
Yeah,
So
and he was trying to help Morpheus.
exactly. So here's yeah. So towards the end, I thought that was really funny. I mean, Frenchie looking good as always, by Bill. Then, so I was thinking, what was Moon Knight thinking? Like tricking Morpheus with the mirror. What was he going to do then? Like,
Yeah,
was
because
he
they
just
talk about the whole. Yeah, he was, instead of doing the Medusa thing where he tries to reflect back, which is what
shit?
Marlene suggested. He
Yeah,
uses the mirror to pretend they're hiding behind a bush,
yeah.
which I was pretty smart. I was pretty clever.
It's not exactly a heroic thing, but like
Well, I mean, like if it works,
sneak.
right?
Yeah. And I guess actually, when I said I don't know what Mark hoped to do, but what he did do, which was great, he got him in like a stranglehold, and he just passed out, which is the only way really to beat Morpheus, because as long as he's conscious, you've got a lot of trouble, unless of course you're Thor. But yeah, so he strangles Morpheus, and Morpheus um, passes out. But then Peter touches him, and again, this weird kind of connection that they have. He saps all the energy, all the Eben energy from Morpheus, and then I think that's the final little push for Peter, and he kind of dies. And I thought it was really nice. I mean, Sienkiewicz does a really good job to make it feel like a big moment, like this last page.
Yeah. I love the rose as well.
Yeah, and like in the snow and just on the shore, just by the water, and you got the birch trees. But yeah, I think it was just really nicely framed, and he's rightly so, trying to make it a big thing, and it kind of is. I mean, it's the brother of Marlene, and she's pretty important. So yeah, so yeah, I mean, there is so much in there. I didn't want to, obviously, we just didn't want to go through panel by panel, but yeah, Rebecca, it was really good. I don't know.
I mean, it's a really nice reminder of how dense and what past these people have, what the old team were like,
yeah,
how happy they were, like working together, just all of that kind of stuff. It was really cool.
Would
Just
you
do make you
with it?
miss the Frenchie
Yeah,
Marlene,
yeah.
But I
thought
love
so
him
as
with Tigris. So, I mean, like, it's just, again, it shows you how they can evolve a character,
Yeah, and I think as Moonlight fans, we are so lucky. I mean, I could say this for any like long running character. We're so lucky to have such a diversity of like art and portrayal of Moon Knight as well.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask you, like, would this kind of tip you to read more Moench now, or
Yeah, you know what?
is
I
it
mean, I'm
enough?
not reading a lot at the moment, but it really is the kind of thing that I'm like, yeah, you know what? It would be quite nice to go back and read all of this, again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as much as I love, as we love Alessandro Cappuccio, and and Jed McKay's run, of course, and his amazing, I guess, development of Moon Knight. I don't know. Sometimes it's good to like take a break from that and just read and
Yeah.
look at like different like art. And Sienkiewicz was just a master at doing Moon Knight. So again, any newer fans of Moon Knight, highly recommend. But be warned though as well, it is like it's not like the TV show or what you've more recently
No.
read.
I mean, this
It's
is
yeah,
it's a little bit more horror. It's a
yeah,
little bit more dense. Different
yes, yeah, it is
cast.
dense.
You might not have any idea what's going on for whole sections.
Yeah, yeah, and the pace is just a lot slower.
Mhm.
So I think a lot of people are deterred from older comics because the pace is slower. But if you're not in a rush,
It
just
does
whip it
take
out.
a little while to get your head used to it,
Yeah,
I
it,
found. But
yeah,
then once you have, there's
hmm
something very peaceful about it and like
yeah,
nice. But you do have to put a lot more time about reading it. You're not going to be like flipping the pages as quickly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say, like Rebecca? I think for me, like in a more modern run, it's not that modern now, but like Christopher Priest's Black Panther, I found the same
Mm.
thing. Fantastic. Like it took me a while though. Like when I first read it, thinking, okay, I want to read Priest's Black Panther. I read his first issue. I was like, oh gosh, this is a bit of a slog.
Yeah, it was
But
weird
once,
the first time, wasn't it? And then
yeah,
once you settle into it, it's like
yes,
much faster to
yeah, you've just got to lock into their beats and stuff and how they write,
yeah.
and once you do, and the similar thing is with Moench as well. So, highly recommend it. Rebecca, I guess grading this is one of the classics. What would
I don't know if
you?
it's hard to grade.
It is,
Like,
yeah, yeah. We
I
have,
mean, I it's hard because there's a massive nostalgia hit, like,
yeah, true. But
and
also as well.
we're
Sorry,
not
Rebecca.
reading it in with the rest of the story.
True. Yeah. And
So
it's like story wise and I guess like character development wise, there's nothing huge to it as well. So that's kind of
no, I mean,
that one
I
thing.
would probably go 7.5. But having said
Yeah.
that, nostalgia would probably knock it up a point. So
Yeah.
I'm trying not to be swayed by that. Like I'm thinking of it as the end of the arc, and I think you do get something because you do get the beat of Marlene killing Peter.
Yep.
So there is something kind of juicy there.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Actually, you're right. There's a moving forward. There are changes, right?
Yeah.
Because Marlene's got to grapple with that. So that's pretty big. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably give the same as well. About a 7, I think. I think a lot of it. It's hard to say because, yeah, I mean, might even bump up to 8 because of the
Yeah.
art. I mean, I just love the art so much. The
I
writing,
agree. I mean, the art is gorgeous.
yeah, and regardless of if this is well, it isn't really a one and done, as you say, Rebecca, because it is kind of capping off the Morpheus arc, which again was I don't know every 5 issues or so of Moon Knight. Like he came back every now and again, and this kind of capped it off. This was a running thing. Yeah, I'd say 8. Yeah, I'd say 8. I think
That's
it
fair.
was really, yeah, I think it was really good. The colors were great. Again, the colors are very different from Rochelle Rosenberg.
Yeah.
But the writing, I love Doug Mench's writing.
I mean, it
It's
is
obviously,
gorgeous.
yeah, and it's dated in many ways as well. But if you understand that, yeah, it's quite nice. So yeah, so listeners, go check out one of these classic issues. Issue 23 will return in the future with more classic. We've progressively gone through, Rebecca. So we have done 1 to 22 back in the day. So go check that out if you
Yeah,
haven't already, listeners.
absolutely.
And we've got what is left? What 15 issues left of the Moench run. So
Nice.
we'll
I'd
get there.
definitely be interested in seeing more.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, I think Rebecca, that pretty much wraps up this episode. We have many varied different episodes in store for you loony listeners as well. So not only will Rebecca and I be chatting about the latest and greatest, but we've got a few other things bubbling, whether they are Moon Knight classic runs, his more modern runs, or whether he's cameoing in issues. We've got it all covered. But Rebecca, before we go, anything else you want to add to this issue?
No,
No?
it really has given me a taste for it though, so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing if I get back to reading. Who knows?
Yeah, there's so much to read, isn't it? Actually, tell you the truth, as well, Rebecca, I've just signed back up on Marvel Unlimited.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
This was a little bit of an instigator, not this particular issue, but a couple of other issues that you and I will be talking about. So I thought I'd just give it a go, give it a go again, and hopefully that will kind of push me to reading even more. So we'll see how we go. Listeners, also as well, please drop in your thoughts on this issue. Now, Rebecca and I, we are recording ahead, so whatever the next episode will be, we won't necessarily be responding to your comments, but we will in future episodes. So let us know. Start a discussion on our social media groups. And let us know what you think of Doug Moench. What do you think of this Volume 1 run? If you're a new follower of Moon Knight, if you're a seasoned Moon Knight loony, let us know your thoughts. I know a lot of loonies, Rebecca, love Volume 1. So
yeah, I mean, look, there's a huge amount to recommend it. I said, that's the one that we all know, know and love, and so on. Everyone will be like, yeah, this is awesome.
They always kind of hold everything up against it. I think. Anyway, that's it from us. Thank you for listening. Go check out the video, and as always, may KHONSHU watch over the denizens of the night. Catch you later.
Bye.